My name is Jamie, and I'm from Summit Spine and Wellness. And this is a virtual yoga workshop that we are hosting in collaboration with Ariel Ashford from Unity Yoga in Manayunk. So let me see here. Just gonna pin you here, Ariel, and take it away.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. My name is Ariel from Unity Yoga in Manayunk. My husband and I own that venture over there, and I'm thrilled to be here. And let's take a moment to sing the praises of Summit Spine and Wellness, because they have also helped me so much in my yoga journey and really what's the word I'm looking for? Being able to help me with my mobility and strength, of course. So nothing too fancy today, just a little chair yoga pose. I thought we might work through some love for the joints, some love for the back, of course, and then we'll link some breath with movement, and we'll end in a really nice Shavasana body rotation type thing. One of the things that I have been learning and playing with is spatial awareness and how that can it's spatial awareness in pain in the body. When we're in pain, the spatial awareness goes right to that point where we're in pain. And sometimes if we can fluff that energy out, we can do almost like a self-healing type thing and help that pain alleviate a little bit. Sometimes it takes a lot of practice or doing the practices over and over again for that to happen. So I'd like to invite you, whether you can do this standing if you'd like to, this practice standing, it really doesn't matter. Or if you're seated in a chair, and it doesn't matter what chair I'm in, just your typical office chair, we can go ahead and get started. So let's start with our feet. So just some little toe raises. Just warming up. So the joint spaces in feet and ankles and knees and all the little joint spaces. Ooh, you might hear some noises this morning. I'll rock back on my heels and lift the toes up sometimes. I can feel really nice. So our joint spaces are full. You can extend the right foot. Whoop. I'm just gonna hold my foot out here so you can see. Little ankle circles. So they hold and go the other way. There's a lot of fluid in the joint spaces, fluid and air, and they can get really kind of stuck and stagnant sometimes. And so by doing these joint movements with, everything we're going to go through today, it can help get that fluid, that nutrient-rich fluid moving in the joint spaces. We'll go to the left foot or the other foot. It truly doesn't matter which foot you start with. I'm doing point and flex. So it gets the fluid in the joints moving. And you might feel some sensations, like tingling. They should all be pleasant sensations. If anything is twingy or doesn't feel right, please don't do it. That's our number one thing. Anything doesn't feel good in the body, don't do it. It's completely fine to skip and just let it be. Okay. So with our knees, we can just go a little side to side. It gets the fluid moving, it gets the life force energy moving. It gets, whether it gets chi or prana moving in the different joint spaces. It can feel very nice. Side to side. Keep breathing. Remember to keep breathing. You take the hands on the hips, you can bring your feet a little bit. Sorry. I had that. The thing should be able to get through. So I'm circling the ribs. Maybe a little hard to see. So I can come up a little closer. Circling the ribs. And maybe encircling the ribs, like the pelvis kind of circles too. That's okay. Circling. in the ribs. Oh, it feels so nice. Nice, deep, friendly breaths. We'll go the other way. Maybe you feel like you can really get the hips into it if you like. You can like sit on one sit bone a little bit more, sit on the other sit bone a little bit more. And maybe we do some pelvic tilt. So, well, yeah. So you can go up, let the back arch. You can even bring your hands up here if you'd like. And then we'll curl under. So this is like a seated cat-cow. If you have your hands on here and you're going forward, try not to put any pressure on the neck and the head. They're just lightly sitting there. We don't want to push our fragile necks any more than they want to. Ooh, you might get some, I'm getting some definite like sounds and joint spaces moving in the back. And like with the pelvis, you can see if the pelvis can roll backwards and roll forwards. And that will depend a lot on like mobility. So maybe it's quite mobile and can roll forward and back, and maybe it's not, and it's fine. Either way, it really doesn't matter, even if the pelvis is not moving at all. Come back to the breath. We'll do 3 more. I know this is feeling really good in my body today. I could probably sit here for like another 5 minutes. Okay, come back to center. Maybe pause and notice anything that you're feeling. We'll take the arms out in front, little fingers can wiggle, 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 wiggle. So if you're at the computer all day, these joint movements for the hands can be really nice. Flat palms, almost like a point and flex with the foot. So this will get joint spaces, joint fluid moving in the wrists and the fingers. You can take really soft fists with the thumbs out, curl it around, and flex and extend the wrist here. Check in with your jaw, see if there's any tension being held in the jaw. And wrist circles. And wrist circles the other way. And then if you'd like to get a little fancy, you can do some spiraling things with the hands. Getting the elbows involved. Feeling those morning cracks. All right, there we go. Shoulder rolls up and back. Shoulder rolls the other direction. So if there's like shoulder mobility things that you're working on, there's many practices we can do, but this is one that is really helpful. All right, let's go to our neck. So we'll start looking over the shoulders right and left, and you can move as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. There's no right or wrong way to do this practice. There's no right or wrong speed or how far you look over the shoulders. Come back to center and we'll do chin down to the chest and looking up as far as is comfortable. So this is another place where we want to be really careful. And if there's any twinges or pinches or something that says like, ow, don't do that, don't do it. You can do it either in a smaller movement or you don't do it at all. And then you call the chiropractor and you say something's twingy in my neck, right? We'll come back to center. We'll do right ear, right shoulder. Once again, this is just as far as feels good to you and your body and your neck this morning. We don't push through the pain. I don't like to play those games. We just very gently move the neck. And then if it delights you, you can do little neck circles. You can go all the way back if you wish, but that might not be what feels good today, so you can just do little half rolls. Come back to the breath, big deep breaths. Notice if there's any tension in the jaw. Or you wiggle the jaw from side to side. Awesome. So come back up to center and let the neck come. And take a moment, you can close the eyes if you wish. Closing the eyes can bring it more internal. Or maybe you let the eyes kind of like you're staring at one of those 3D posters and get really loose and kind of roll out to the periphery and just maybe notice any sensations that are in the body. We don't need to like label or judge. We're simply just noticing. Are there tingles? Does it feel maybe electric? Like, ooh, some stuff got moving. Maybe you hated it. That's fine too. No worries. I know my hands are feeling alive and ready to go. Even in the ankles, which is where I get a lot of stagnation, the ankles are kind of lighting up, saying that they're ready to play for the day. Even in like the mid back, this is a new discovery for me. There's starting to be some movement in the mid back. It's very exciting. And I do these practices very regularly because they're so amazing for longevity and for health and vitality. I know they're known as calisthenics, but really they're from our like Southeast Asian friends. So let's extend our left leg out in front, and you can move the right leg wherever's possible, wherever's like comfortable. So whether it's out here or closer, it really doesn't matter. Take your hands on your knees, sit up really straight. Be careful that you're not like rolling too far forward in the pelvis. So have your sit bones down in the chair and take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, very gently just fold forward to whatever level that is. And what we're looking for is the back to be straight. So once we start getting into this like curvy position, we want to back up so the back can be straight, even if that means both hands on the leg and above the knee, so we don't want to smash into that joint. You can knit your ribs together a little bit so the core is supported. And this is a little hamstring stretch. So there's varying places that you might feel this in a hamstring stretch. We breathe. Maybe you'd like to breathe right into the hamstrings, like literally inviting space into the hamstrings. Very nice. Walk the hands up, release the stretch. If you feel a little bounce or shake out, those are welcome. And we'll switch legs. I will turn this way so you can see. So right leg's out this time. Root the sit bones down so you can feel both of them in your chair. Bring a little length to the side ribs, the side body. Puff up through the chest so there's a buoyancy, there's a lift there. And then when you're ready to fold forward, keeping that back nice and straight, we go there. So it's a proud chest. Heart is open, shoulders are open. Ribs are knit together like you're wearing a corset. So this is all supported. If you find that we're getting into this kind of a rounded back, walk back up. Deep breaths. And And we'll release. You can walk the hands back up the leg. You can bring the leg in, little bounce, bounce, bounce. It's also nice to like bounce into the joints as well. All right, so back forward. We'll do some like really modified chair sun salutation. So this is to link the breath with the movement. We've got some of the juices flowing in the body. So now we can work on a little bit more of our, I don't know, mindfulness aspect. Let's put it that way. So hands can be down by the side. Take a big inhale. Let the arms sweep up so it's above your head. Long in the sides. Deep breaths. Make sure your shoulders are rolling down. So the tendency is for the arms and the shoulders to shrug up to the ears. See if you can use your shoulder blades and the lats and pull the shoulders down. Take a big inhale one more time. And as we exhale, we'll fold forward and the arms can either come straight down in front or they can come out to the side. And as far over, so maybe you're like all the way down here, that's fine. And maybe you're just right here. You can hold on to ankles, you can put arms on knees and sort of balance that way. We still have our flat back and keep the neck in a neutral position. So I know you might have to like look up to see the screen, that's totally fine. But generally we wanna line from the back of the head down to the tailbone. Exhale, let the arms come back down. And then as we inhale, we'll lift back up, arms come up overhead. And exhale, arms swoop down, you can bring them to prayer. Take a breath. We'll do it again. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward, whatever that fold forward looks like. This time we'll inhale to a halfway lift so that neck stays neutral, spine stays long, length in between the side ribs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. See if you can find a flat back in space. Flat back in space will translate to just about every asana, yoga pose that we can find. Very nice. Back to heart center. Cool. Okay. So we might have to do a little maneuvering with hips. So I need to scoot forward a little bit on mine. I'm gonna take my right leg out to the side and left leg to the back. So a warrior two type pose. So my bum is right on the edge of the chair. It's almost like I have one sit bone that's totally on, and this one is a little off. Like my holy pants, they're my favorite. And arms can come out to the side, or hands can stay on hips. A warrior two pose. So see if you can pull up on the pelvic floor and the belly. And then on the back foot, see if you can rotate this. This is a lot of ankle flexibility, which is why we warmed up our ankle joints, ankle flexibility. And this is a very extreme angle right here. So even if your back foot is up, that's fine, you can keep it flexed. Or if you have that ankle flexibility, see if you can get the straight edge of the foot on the ground. We'll take the elbow to the knee, arms out like a shelf, and this arm can circle up and around. So arm is up, fingers are extended up, shoulder is back and in the shoulder socket. So we want it to stabilize the joints. Side angle. Deep breaths. Okay. Undo, unwind, give yourself a little assist with that back leg, pull it in, do any bounces or shakes that might feel good. And we'll take that to the other side. So this time the left leg's out, right leg is out to the back. Ooh, okay, we can know right away noticing differences between the two legs. So belly is pulled up, foot is either on the ground or maybe it's kind of flexed. Arms can come out to the sides or on the hips. Deep breaths. Notice that if you've lost the breath, maybe try to, well, just come back to it. Don't try to do anything. The mind wanders. You can take hold of the mind like you would a child and guide it back to the breath and in the here and now. Shoulders are still up and back. Shoulder blades are pulling together and down. We'll take the left arm to the left knee. Right arm circles around. So we open the chest. Just a little bit of a twist. Deep breaths, maybe you send the breath right into the right ribs, or maybe down into the adductors. And we'll release this. Release, release, release. Give yourself a little assist, bring the legs together. Any adjustments, ooh, little bounce out maybe, yes. Okay, so little stretch. So we'll take the right leg and we'll bring the right ankle over the right knee. In whatever degree that looks like, and it truly doesn't matter, like if your knee is up here or if your knee is way down here, we want to stabilize the ankle joint, so be wary of it going down or going up. So we want to attempt to keep it nice and straight. You can see that this is not my easiest stretch. So I like to keep one hand on the ankle, one hand on the knee. Same thing, I want to ground down into the sit bones, make sure I'm not coming too forward or I'm not too back. Plank through the sides. Here, I'll turn sideways. And then when you're ready, you fold over whatever degree that fold looks for you. Sensation I'm feeling is a piriformis stretch. So it's right under here. Deep breaths. You can take the mind, you can take the attention, right to that area. And there are a couple options. These are little healing games you can play. So one might be to invite space into that area. That could be one game. One game could be, which I've taken to enjoy recently, is it's imagination, right? So it's I have a little feather duster, and where I feel the sensation, I'm just gonna dust and fluff around that area. And there's other games we can play. But if you don't think I sound too woo-woo already, it's real woo-woo, so we'll just stop. Okay, come back up. You can grab the leg, give it a little shake, 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 a little bounce, 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 shake it out side to side, up and down, release. Okay. Let's go to the other leg. So left leg comes up and over. Ooh, once again, immediately can feel the difference between the right and left side, and that's cool, that's okay. We like differences. Gives us something to notice and something to work on. So sit bones are nice and ground down. There's beautiful length through the sides. I take a big inhale, and then as I exhale, I fold forward. Whatever that fold forward looks like, it does not matter. Doesn't matter if your chest isn't on your thigh, so who cares? Big deep breaths. we'll release. Oh, you can let the left leg come down, give it a little shake, shake, shake. So a final twist and then we'll go into our Shavasana. So good distance between the feet. Let's see. We'll take one arm. So if you have arms, you have a nice thing. If you don't, you can grab whatever you can grab. So take a big inhale. We'll go to the right first. And then exhale and twist. But what I want you to watch out for is don't grab and torque. So we want to use the core to twist around and not grabbing and pulling ourselves around. So just allowing, and the head can either like look over the shoulder or you can keep it in between the collarbones, depending on how big of a twist that you would enjoy this particular morning. That's the other thing, it's really easy to twist, pushing against like the knee. So my hand is very just lightly on my knee. I'm not pushing it, I'm not putting any pressure on it. It's just a nice little twist. I literally have no weight in either of my hands. I'm just twisting from the middle body. And then you can inhale and lengthen and exhale and see if you can twist a little bit more. And we'll release. Come back to center. And go the opposite direction. Inhale, so I took my right hand to the outside of my left knee. My left hand is very gently on the arm of the chair. I inhale and exhale to twist. There's no weight. I'm not twerking, I'm not pulling, I'm not striving. I think yoga gets a bad name because a lot of people strive and there's no need to strive. And the striving actually, in my opinion, takes away from the juice, the magic from the practice. When we can find that center, not striving, but not just laying around, and there's nothing wrong with laying around. It's my favorite thing to do, actually. There's this middle point of like ease. You can find ease in the poses and postures. It doesn't have to be work. You can just feel really good, and that's okay. Release this twist. Oh, let's do one more. So the legs will come, I gotta scoot up. The legs will come wide. Knees are pushing out, so we want to, if they're coming in, see if you can push them out to the side. I'm feeling one more forward fold. That's what my body's calling for. So sitting up really high on the sit bones, big inhale. My glutes are just very gently engaged in the back, like right where I'm sitting, right where the glute, like hamstring connection is. There's a really slight engagement. My knees are pointing out. I have adductors and abductors are fired up. I'm gonna take my hands to the knees, take a big inhale. Forward fold, whatever degree that looks like. Maybe it's here, maybe you're all the way down here. It doesn't matter. You can even hang out with elbows on knees or just above knees. Spine and head are neutral. Deep breaths. All right, you can walk yourself back up. And I'm gonna come a little closer, grab a drink of water as we settle into our Shavasana. So Shavasana is 100% the most important part of your yoga practice. And why is that? Why do we keep hearing that? Well, Shavasana used to be this lovely practice called Yoga Nidra, which was a meditative practice. Sorry, I'm like all lit up and look interesting. It was originally, like way back in the day, it was this practice of Yoga Nidra. It was a very deep meditative practice. And then through all sorts of reasons and ideas, it was turned into, a couple minutes laying on the floor, which is fine. I'm not like fighting that at all. But really, what it is a space to integrate anything that might have happened during the practice. So oftentimes we have friends that will have like emotional breakthroughs in class, and when we can, and I like, it's not very frequently, but it happens sometimes, and I have in myself have had this experience. And then in Shavasana, it's a chance for us to rest and letting the body process everything that's maybe happened through the day or in the process. So I'd like to invite you to find a really comfortable seat. Both feet are on the floor. Sit bones are nice and glued down. You are so welcome to close the eyes if you wish. Hands can be on armchairs or, sitting in your lap. Maybe you have a headrest. You can lean your head back there. That can be really nice. Take a couple deep breaths. Take a big inhale and maybe a exhale. Yawn or a sigh. And let the awareness come to the crown of the head and softly rest there. And from the head to the little space between the two eyebrows, the little space between the two collarbones, the shoulders, elbows, wrists, palms of hands, and all 10 fingers. And back to the little space between the two collarbones, the heart space, the space just above the navel, the solar plex, space just below the navel, and pelvic floor, hips right and left, knees, ankles, soles of the feet and the tops of the feet, and all 10 toes. Back to the soles of the feet and ankles, knees and hips, pelvic floor, just below the navel, solar plexus, and heart space, space between the two collarbones, space between the two eyebrows, and crown of the head. And we'll pause for a wordless moment to enjoy the sights and sounds and sensations. And coming back to the breath, noticing the inhales and the exhales, and maybe even taking a bigger inhale and a exhale. Should it delight you, maybe you take your hands and rub them together, creating some heat and friction. You can gently place the hands over the eyes and flutter the eyes open. As a softer transition back into this space and time, when you're ready, you can remove the hands. And I will thank you so much for joining me this morning. It was a pleasure. I know I'm feeling good. I hope you all are too. So once again, my name is Ariel Ashford. I'm from Unity Yoga, and thank you so much for having me in this workshop space. It is a delight.
Thank you so much, Ariel. That was absolutely wonderful. What a great way to start our Saturdays, or to do a mid Saturday for some folks.
11 a. I'm all about 11 a.m. classes. Like, yes.
Well, thank you so much. And we'll keep everyone updated with future events that we've got going. Maybe we can do another one of these in a few months. But this was really wonderful, and I thank you so much.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, friends. Have a good day.